You know how sometimes a simple everyday problem can spark something? Well, really innovative.
Definitely.
That's exactly where our deep dive begins today. And it's something you might find really interesting if you're into small business tech.
Yeah.
We're taking a close look at SCAR's interactive bakery ordering system. It's a completely fresh approach using Gen AI.
Gen AI, okay.
Yeah, to basically change how small businesses, starting with bakeries, handle their orders.
And what you might find particularly compelling about the system, I think, is its very human origin story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't dreamed up in some, abstract research lab. It came from a real need.
Right.
A friend wanted to open a bakery and needed a better way for customers like you to order remotely, even when the shop isn't technically open.
Ah, that makes immediate sense, doesn't it?
Totally.
The thought of ordering those delicious treats anytime, maybe for the next day.
Exactly.
And that simple need, it uncovered a whole lot of possibilities, it sounds like.
It did. The creator saw the bigger picture.
Thinking about.
Well, thinking about the long hours, the constant availability demands on small business owners.
Right, the grind
Yeah, and not to mention the inevitable little errors that creep in with manual order taking.
happens all the time.
So the core idea was let's leverage AI to handle those time-consuming database tasks that can really, bog down a small operation.
Okay. So our mission then for this deep dive is to kind of unpack the key parts of this AI system.
Yeah, and really understand how it tackles those everyday challenges for these businesses.
Got it.
Exactly. So let's start by thinking about that initial spark, maybe from your perspective as someone who shops local.
Okay.
Imagine the owner of your favorite little bakery. They're not just baking, right?
No way. They're doing everything.
Customer service, managing supplies, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Taking orders over the phone or in person, it pulls them away.
And opens the door for mistakes, especially when it gets busy.
Precisely.
Wow, it sounds incredibly stressful.
It really can be.
And that's where the core concept of SCAR's system comes in, I suppose.
Right. It's designed as this adaptable AI that understands natural language.
Meaning you could just talk to it or
Yeah.
type your order like conversationally.
Basically, yeah. And it's all connected to the essential info, the menu, opening hours, that kind of thing.
Okay.
But what's really clever, I think, is how flexible it is.
Also,
Well, it started with a bakery, but the underlying structure, it's built to work for all sorts of small businesses that take orders.
oh, interesting, like coffee shops or pop-ups.
Your neighborhood coffee shop, that unique pop-up
Ooh.
store you follow online. Yeah, any place like that.
That adaptability is so important for you to consider then.
It really is, because a bakery has its items, a cafe has different ones, a small shop has its products.
But the basic need is the same.
The fundamental need for a system that gets what a customer wants, checks if it's available, and processes the order, lots of businesses share that.
Okay.
And this system does this using a set of, well, they're called intelligent agents.
Agents, like little AI workers.
Kind of. Think of them as specialized AI assistants, each with a specific job.
Okay, let's meet this AI team. First up, we have the administrator agent.
Right.
Now, for many of us, I think the idea of setting up a database from scratch, it feels like a huge technical hurdle.
Oh, absolutely. Something best left to the experts, usually.
Yeah.
Figuring out the right tables, the data fields, writing the SQL commands to make it all work. That's a specialized skill.
For sure.
And that's exactly the challenge the administrator agent is designed to tackle for the business owner.
Okay, so its main role is just getting that whole database ready.
Getting it up and running the menu, the operating hours, maybe some initial customer details.
And it handles this autonomously, like on its own.
Yeah, actually generating those SQL commands using Gen AI.
Wow. And what I found particularly interesting for you to note is the flexibility it offers right at the start.
So,
The owner can choose a guided setup or like a quick start with some default info just to get going fast.
oh, that's smart.
Or even skip it entirely if they want to manage the database manually later. Seems really user-friendly.
It really highlights something important in good design, something for you to appreciate. It caters to different levels of technical comfort.
Right, not everyone's a coder.
And not everyone has the same amount of time for that initial setup. Offering these different paths makes it much more accessible.
Makes sense. Okay, next in line is the document controller, the DC agent.
Ah, yes, the DC.
This one apparently has a really personal connection to this system's creator.
It does. Document controller was actually their job until quite recently.
No kidding.
Yeah. And they recognized that many of those tasks were, pretty routine, but needed intense concentration to avoid errors.
The kind of focus that's hard to keep up all day.
Exactly. Especially during long workdays.
So what's fascinating for you to consider here, then, is the vision. It's
Yeah.
more like a partnership.
A partnership between human and AI, yeah. Not just pure automation. The goal isn't necessarily to completely replace a person, but to have an AI assistant handle those repetitive, focus-heavy tasks.
Which then frees up the human, too.
To concentrate on the bigger picture, ensuring data accuracy overall, setting strategy for data management, handling weird exceptions, and getting actual insights from the info.
Using the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the DC agent in SCAR's system manages the crucial stuff, like the menu, the bakery's hours, customer data.
All the vital operational info.
And it does this through simple, natural language commands. That seems so intuitive.
It really is. The example they gave was trying to add chocolate brownie to the menu.
Okay.
And the DC agent was smart enough to see it was already there and suggested an update instead.
So it's not just storing data, it's showing some intelligence. That could really streamline things.
Exactly. It shows an understanding of context, which is key for you to appreciate.
Right.
And the source material gives great examples. The owner can just tell it, add this new cake, or change the price of the muffins.
Just like talking to an assistant.
Pretty much. They can ask, what's on the menu, or what are our hours today? They can even adjust opening times for one specific day just by asking.
And getting a quick status report just by asking, that sounds like a huge efficiency boost for a busy owner.
Definitely. A complete snapshot whenever they need it.
Then we have what you could call the welcoming committee. Bakery Beat and Celebration Spotter.
The front door, essentially.
Yeah. These two work together for that first customer interaction. Bakery Beat is the first point of contact, right? It checks if the bakery is actually open.
Makes sense. Stops people ordering when they can't.
Yeah, it just manages expectations. Crucial first step for you as a customer. No one wants to go through the whole ordering thing just to find out they're closed.
Been there. It's frustrating.
And then there's Celebration Spotter. This one tries to add a personal touch.
How does it do that?
Well, the initial vision was pretty ambitious, not just spotting special days, but actually generating themed menus and welcome images to celebrate them.
Oh, wow. Like custom graphics for holidays?
Exactly. Imagine interacting with a local shop, and they subtly acknowledge a holiday that's special to you. That kind of detail can really build loyalty.
For sure.
Now, the themed image part is temporarily on hold, some technical hurdles with getting reliable, accurate images.
Ah, okay. Image generation can be tricky for specific.
Yeah. But Celebration Spotter still identifies significant international days and generates a personalized text welcome message.
So even without the pictures for now, you still get that relevant greeting.
Exactly. The examples given were for Halloween and Bastille Day, just injecting a bit of charm.
Nice, guys.
Then Baker Beat takes that message and presents it to you, the customer. And originally, it was meant to show those themed images from the other agent.
The designer agent.
That's one, which leads us right to it, the designer agent. This was envisioned as the visual powerhouse.
Generating those themed welcomes, showcasing special dishes visually.
Right, and we even got a glimpse of its potential with those example images in the source, a Bastille Day greeting graphic, a tempting picture of a special cupcake.
Gives you an idea of where it could go.
Definitely. Really shows the future possibilities for enhancing the bakery's online look.
But the challenge, as the source mentioned, was getting reliable images that met the specific needs.
Especially with text, or showing exactly the right menu item.
Yeah, it highlights a current limitation where AI image gen still struggles with very precise commercial tasks. But the potential for future development there is definitely something to keep an eye on.
For sure. Okay, and finally we have the waiter agent.
The main event, maybe?
Really the heart of the system, yeah. The one that interacts directly with you, the customer.
So forget trying to read messy handwriting on an order pad.
Exactly. This agent automates that whole ordering process. From welcoming in you after Bakery Beat says, we're open to showing the menu from the DC agent.
Having a bit of friendly chat.
Yeah, friendly conversation, accurately taking your order, collecting customer info if needed, processing it.
And even updating inventory levels in real time. That's crucial.
It really is an end-to-end solution for that customer interaction. And for you as a customer, it could mean a much smoother, more efficient order.
And think about the efficiency gains for the owner, too. One AI waiter can handle multiple customers at once without getting flustered or making mistakes from being tired.
The demo videos really showed this well, apparently, like ordering a couple of chocolate brownies.
Right, and it confirms the order, gets the customer's name and email.
And then, crucially, you see the system automatically update the stock in the database. The count went from 50 down to 48 after that first order.
Yeah, that real-time update is key.
And the second demo, it showed the bakery being closed initially.
The waiter politely tells the customer.
Then the creator uses the DC agent to quickly change the hours, basically opening the shop.
Just a quick command.
Then another order goes through, and you see the stock drop again, down to 45 this time, and the new customer's info gets added seamlessly.
It really demonstrates that smooth, integrated process, how all these different AI agents are connected and collaborate.
Yeah, managing the whole workflow.
And when you consider the journey of actually building something like this, well, it becomes clear it wasn't exactly a walk in the park.
Oh, I bet. There were challenges.
Absolutely.
The image generation with the designer agent, we mentioned that hurdle.
Right.
But they also ran into issues getting the AI to reliably do structured tasks, like just asking it to generate the SQL code for the database schema, sometimes led to errors or inconsistencies.
And what's insightful for you to understand is how they solved that, their problem-solving approach.
What do they do?
They found that asking the AI to provide the schema instructions in a more structured format, specifically using JSON, made the results much more reliable.
So giving the AI a clearer blueprint, essentially.
Exactly. It's a great example of how figuring out the best way to prompt or interact with AI is key to getting what you need. Clear, unambiguous instructions work better.
Makes sense. And then there was the complexity of the waiter agent's conversation flow, using something called a state graph.
Yeah, managing all the possible turns in a conversation.
They described it as being like rewiring a really complex machine, one small mistake in the logic, and the whole interaction could fall apart.
It really emphasizes the intricate detail needed to make conversational AI feel natural and actually work properly.
Definitely not trivial.
And beyond those specific technical issues, the creator also mentioned just the sheer scale of learning involved, integrating all these different pieces for the first time.
Yeah, it can feel overwhelming, I imagine.
For sure.
But that's where the assistance of Gemini, the AI helper they used, became so valuable.
The role of the AI assistant itself in the creation process.
Right. It acted as this constant resource, helping explain complex technical stuff, finding and fixing bugs in the code, giving overall guidance.
So it really underscores the potential of AI, not just as the end product, but as a powerful tool for learning, for problem solving, for innovation itself.
Absolutely.
And looking ahead, it's exciting for you to hear about the planned enhancements.
Yeah, what's next for the system?
The immediate focus is on refining what's already there. More testing, debugging, better error handling, making it really robust and dependable.
Throwing up the foundations.
Exactly. And then there are plans to expand the AI team, adding new agents,
Right.
like an accountant agent, maybe,
Okay.
to manage finances, sales data, that sort of thing, and a cashier agent for payment confirmations and order summaries.
Okay. Getting more comprehensive.
And they want to bring back the designer agent's visual capabilities eventually, plus add more database tables for things like staff info or product status.
And eventually, a user-friendly graphical interface, a proper UI, is on the roadmap too.
Right. It paints a clear picture of the system evolving beyond just orders to become a broader small business management tool.
It really does. And the personal story of the creator's own journey with AI, that was really inspiring, I thought, especially for anyone thinking about these new technologies.
It was compelling.
It connects back to a childhood thing, right? Feeling limited by needing to memorize everything.
Yeah, that classic memorization versus understanding distinction.
Then, in 2024, Gemini became this pivotal tool, helping with actual real-world tasks in their document controller job.
Like complex spreadsheets, fixing printer issues, file sharing, practical stuff.
And that feeling, the thrill of solving problems using these tools, that really resonated.
It's that aha moment, isn't it? Realizing these technologies can help us overcome perceived limits and unlock new ways of doing things, that's so significant for you to consider.
Totally. And that experience led directly to leaving the old job and just diving headfirst into learning AI development.
And the irony, of course, of building an AI agent, the DC agent designed to automate tasks from that very same former role.
It's brilliant. It really highlights that fundamental shift in how we might think about learning and work now,
Less about memorizing tons of code.
and more about understanding the core concepts, then leveraging AI to handle the complex syntax, the nitty-gritty details.
Gemini became this close collaborator, letting the focus shift to the creative ideas, the system design.
And Gemini even helped write all the documentation, the markdown for the project. That's another powerful example of its usefulness.
Just shows the versatility.
Okay, so to summarize our deep dive for you, the listener, Scar's Bakery AI system is a really compelling example, isn't it?
It really is a great illustration of how Gen AI can deliver intelligent, adaptable solutions specifically for small businesses,
Streamlining those everyday operations.
and ultimately enhancing the experience for you, the customer. More convenience, maybe more personalized interaction.
But it's more than just automation, isn't it? That's the key point.
Absolutely. It's really about freeing up human potential.
Letting AI handle the routine, the repetitive stuff.
So owners and their teams can focus on the higher level activities, the creativity of their craft, building customer relationships, strategic thinking.
It fosters this really interesting partnership between humans and AI. That feels like where the real innovation happens.
Which brings up a really significant point for you to think about now. Consider how AI assistants, like the ones we've talked about today, could potentially transform other routine tasks across totally different industries.
Right, look beyond just bakeries.
Exactly. Where else do you see opportunities for this kind of intelligent automation? Where could it empower individuals, small teams, to achieve more with less grunt work?
What potential applications pop into your head, maybe in your own life or fields you're interested in?
It's a truly fascinating area to contemplate, isn't it, where this could all lead?